we're coming up to the holidays, and we've got Donna Kristansen, who is with us here this morning, who's with the Northwest Alberta FASD Network. Good morning, Donna.
Good morning.
And then we also have joining us this morning, Sandra Bruno, who is also with the same organization as well. But Donna, Sandra, you work out of the Alexis First Nation.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
And good morning.
And good morning. Thanks for coming in. Let's talk about FASD and its the importance of talking about it this time of year.
Well, FASD stands for fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, and it's a medical diagnosis which is caused by prenatal exposure to alcohol. So when women are drinking alcohol during pregnancy, the alcohol passes freely through the placenta barrier and causes significant damage to the fetus. When we look at the first trimester and things are just getting put together for the baby, whether it's brain development, it's organs, it's everything. And because that alcohol crosses across that placenta barrier so freely, freer than any other, like when we compare it to, say, other drugs and like marijuana or even heroin, alcohol is able to pass that placenta barrier more free than any of those others. And so it causes significant damage to the baby. And as we know that lots of pregnancies are unplanned, and and women, it crosses any, like whether it be First Nation, whether it be university students, whether it be older, successful women, any women with in childbearing age who are drinking are at risk of having a baby with FASD.
When it comes to FASD, to diagnose a baby or somebody, is it usually later in life, or would people see those, is it a behavior pattern that does it start there? Yeah,
it depends, on the situation. Every situation is different, and every woman is different. Some children are diagnosed, the best or the earliest time is to diagnose when they're young, so that the supports and the services can be put in there. When we're looking at arranging the environment in the school setting for children, how they learn, they might learn better with visual and hands-on learning, and don't do very well in maybe just a classroom that is structured for just the mainstream, and that we need to modify that environment. But we've got individuals from babies that are diagnosed to adults. We had a gentleman that was 59 years old and had an assessment and was diagnosed.
Wow. There are a lot of different programs and services that are available for people who have FASD, or maybe even families, like loved ones,
yes,
who want to gain more knowledge of their child or their loved one being diagnosed with FASD.
As a network, we have, the three pillars that we focus on. The first one is prevention, and it's to get the word out there that it's best not to drink during pregnancy. And if you're drinking, don't get pregnant. So we do some presentations and some information to the various communities we serve. We have a large area. Our area ranges from Jasper across to Boyle and north up to Peerless and Trout.
Wow. That's a lot of area, a lot of ground.
Yeah. So, we do presentations, whether it be RCMP training for the RCMP to give them some insight on FASD, whether it's being for primary care networks, children's services, any community agencies that are going to be working with anybody with an FASD. We want them to be able to recognize it and to be able to support the people that have FASD in a supportive manner.
What kind of symptoms or something that people would look for, like as in like children or teens, adults? What are things that would trigger somebody to be like, well, maybe you do have FASD?
Well, the thing with FASD is we call it the invisible disability. And it's because some people say, well, there's facial features. But those specific facial features that are connected with FASD only occur during, if a mom was drinking during her 18th, 19th, or 20th day of pregnancy. And so if she wasn't consuming alcohol in those particular 3 days, there would be no facial features. So it's invisible. So it's not like you could take a look at somebody and say, oh, they have FASD. It's behaviors. Like the kids, when we're looking at children, it's struggling in school, not doing very well in the traditional classroom. And it's it's sensory issues. So it might be the lights that are bugging them, it might be the noise that's bugging them, and they just can't focus, they can't concentrate. With adults, when we have our adults, they struggle a lot with addictions themselves. Justice system, they have issues with justice. Mental health is huge. Lots of individuals that struggle. They're able to get the jobs because they can walk the walk. But when it comes to maintaining that employment, they struggle with maintaining that employment because they're just not able to maybe get up every morning. So memory issues are a problem. So they may not be able to get up in the morning and remember this is the routine need to get to the job and why it's important to get to the job. Or some of those things that if they're sick, to remember to call in. And some of those social skills are lacking as well. So with FASD, any of the body can be affected. It could be physical issues, but executive functioning. And that decision-making is key. And somebody with FASD may not have the ability to have that good decision-making.
We are joined this morning with Donna Kristansen and also Sandra Bruno. They are with the Northwest Central Alberta FASD Network, Fetal Alcohol Spectrum Disorder. And again, it's to get the word out because we are heading into that season where people are going to be celebrating and the alcohol tends to flow freely. Sandra, your involvement and why it's important.
I want to talk about FASD at this time of the year specifically.
Yeah.
This season is one of the highest times for alcohol consumption and pregnancy out of the whole year. Another one is St. Patrick's Day, and we ask that all of society help women to have safe and healthy pregnancies during this time and into 2017. So if you could help spread the word, the message about alcohol and pregnancy, and the fact that they don't mix and they have long-lasting implications for their development, and offer those ladies a mocktail this season. A mocktail is just a mixture of juices, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's made to look like a fancy drink.
Yeah.
All the flavor, but not the punch.
Right. Exactly. And so that's what I wanted to share this morning. I also have a message from one of the elders, and it's in my language, if I could just say that.
We would love to hear it.
Absolutely.
Wakane, mamancha unikuchat, puramini yakuchikishchat. That means, Creator loan you this baby. You are not allowed to give the baby alcohol.
Wow. And that's from one of the elders from the Alexis Sioux Nation.
Yes.
That is
That's powerful.
that is.
That really affected me a lot.
With your involvement, Sandra, when did you become involved with the network?
Actually, this was a partnership that began in September.
Okay.
And it was just the perfect timing for me and my experience and the way everything was going for me. I thought, well, I'll give this a try. And lo and behold, here I am. But I have some knowledge about FASD, and I've done a couple presentations even when I was going to school back in the day when it used to be called FAE and FAS. But everything has changed. Now it's a spectrum disorder because it's, like Donna said, it doesn't just give you one specific diagnosis.
Yeah.
It ranges.
It ranges, yes.
And when we talk about the services, we look at we have the prevention, and then we have the assessment and diagnosis that we're able to assess adults and children. And also, the main important piece is after the assessment, it's now what? And so it's the programs we have, and Sandra is the parent-child, she's the PCAP mentor and that's a parent-child assistance program. And she works with women who are of childbearing age who struggle with addiction issues. And she's doing a fabulous job. That's one of our programs. We have mentors in many communities, and it's to assist adults to just kind of put some of the dots together, access some of those services and supports, and help make a difference and help with the recidivism of people that have justice issues and housing issues and financial issues.
Yeah, because you just got to think that, here we are going through our lives, and we sometimes run into a problem here and there, but these individuals have no idea if they're not diagnosed right away, and they go through life all these years not knowing until they get the diagnosis.
Yeah, they know, they know there's something up, it's like, why can't I do things that, somebody else the same age as me can do, especially when they're transitioning into adulthood and they want to be able to be independent. They want to be able to drive that car and they want to be able to have that job, and just like their friend does. But they struggle with maintaining that. And so then, like I say, mental health is another piece that is not necessarily a secondary disability. Some individuals have mental health throughout their life that struggle with FASD, and the mental health is kind of part and parcel and is part of the medical diagnosis, is the mental health piece.
And what can people out there do who are listening to help and support people with FASD?
If there's anybody who requires any information, resources, if they have somebody they know that's looking for support, we have FASD networks throughout the province of Alberta. Like I say, ours is a large region. There's Edmonton FASD network as well. In Calgary, Red Deer, there's 12 different networks that are in our province. And so that's just to give the networks a call, and we'll connect them to the services that they're looking for, or if they're in our region, then we'll help support them to get the assessment and the services.
Because within your region, there's a number of Aboriginal communities that fall under your region. So
yes.
If anybody wants information, I guess they could call or go to the website.
Go to our website, yes.
I want to thank you both for coming in this morning and, joining us. I didn't realize that St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, I would have never thought, but I was like, oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then when you mentioned, okay, kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I thought New Year's was like the day.
Yeah.
No?
But I want to thank you both for coming in this morning and getting that word out, and we'll continue to spread the word.
Thank you so much, ladies.